Welcome back, YouTube. We are going to be getting into stock ticker, aka crypto, Dogecoin, baby. And I wanted to go over the daily time frame here, how you have almost made your daily MACD cross. In the meantime, some technical confluence that goes along with it, you've bounced off the daily 200 EMA while almost forming a bullish hammer candle close here on the daily. If you get above this 50-day EMA and you form a bullish hammer, for me, that is confluence. That is a breakout of this long-term falling wedge that you've been in since all the way back in July. So almost a month and a half now of trading in that. And you would like to see this cross up green because Bitcoin, mind you, Bitcoin just crossed green as well, guys. Let me just pull it up. Bitcoin just crossed green as well for the first time on the MACD in over a month. Last time you crossed up was August 8th, and a consistent trend as of the last 3 times. Every time you've crossed up on the daily MACD on Bitcoin, guys. So the daily MACD indicator, you have made another all-time high. Did it here? All-time high. High or low? Crossed up right here at 113, give or so. And then you made another all-time high. And within this falling wedge, you are within an expanding megaphone pattern, which is a very volatile and consistent chart pattern in which you make higher highs and lower lows. These vertical swings, as long as you're within this pattern, should get more exaggerated until eventually you find support in whatever direction and break up or down. Today, gearing that you got this daily MACD cross, you did get a rejection of the 50-day EMA. That is an absolute bummer. And you could come down to see this as support at the 200 at 104. But the breakout of this expanding megaphone pattern would theoretically, right, if you did it right now, the breakout would theoretically take you to about $150,000 on Bitcoin, which would be a tremendous move to the upside. I could imagine where Ethereum and the alts would be. Ethereum still within this falling wedge or this consolidation pattern, and it leads me to believe that Dogecoin is just waiting for a breath of air. It is really just waiting for someone to breathe on it with any kind of volume for this thing to go higher. We talked about long-term, your hard vertical resistance sitting at 24 to 25, 28. Above 28, guys, there ain't much. I'm telling you, there is not much. You get a slingshot 25% move up to 35 cents. Above 35 cents, you get a slingshot up to 43 with this horizontal level up here. And then above 43, guys, unless you get stopped out at 48 and put in a touch of daily bearish divergence on the RSI, you would make, in my opinion, an all-time high. And this is the kind of move that I'm looking for on Dogecoin because you've seen this trend line respected, right? Each time, tap, 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 and then I would expect some kind of tap, tap. In case you guys do not know, I'm going to give you a little mic drop knowledge getting into the Dogecoin chart here. Let me swap on the RSI. It's not very clear here, so let me get into... Let's do TradingView. TradingView has a very good chart overlay. Let's get into Doge. Make sure, guys, if you are watching this, to slap the subscribe button. I'm going to be here literally every single day covering these stocks and crypto. Typically crypto on the weekend because the stock market is not open unless there is some kind of pressing news. But slap the sub button, guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Let's get into Dogecoin. This is the weekly. Let's go to the daily because the daily paints a really clear picture. Boom. Boom. Okay. So on the daily time frame, guys, the reason that I'm looking for the price targets that I am, and the reason that I'm so confident that you will see some kind of double top is because every single Doge top has been one of these double tops. Like a higher high double top. Double top, higher high, double top, higher high. This chart. This doggone chart. Give me Binance. Binance gives me the full thing, right? Sure does. Okay. We're back. Every single one of these things has been a double top on the chart. And when you zoom in here, guys, just take a moment to appreciate the RSI, which is the relative strength index or indicator. How do I do that? Boom. Okay, I did it. Thank goodness. All right, we're overlaid with the RSI indicator, and this is how you're able to spot the Dogecoin top almost every single time. I will be using this going into the next bull run, in which I believe we're already in. So the Dogecoin top happened back here. You can see very clearly here, very, very clearly, that the RSI topped out on this candle right here at 43 cents. You then made a higher high on the chart. Meanwhile, the RSI put in a touch of bearish divergence. You made a higher high on the chart and a lower high on the RSI. You did it one more time right here, and then you dumped 70% all the way down here. You did do it here as well. You made a horns pattern or a double top while the RSI peaked here, made a lower high, closing below the RSI band, and then dumped 40%. Back here, you had it as well. Let's get rid of that. You had a topping out on the RSI in this candle right here, a higher high on price, a lower high on the RSI. And I say this so that you guys can get a clear example in your minds of what to look for on the RSI and what to look for on Dogecoin's chart, because so consistently has it done this. In fact, it did it all the way back here at the top, at the all-time high, guys. You did the exact same thing in which you made you made the top RSI right here on this candle, right here. And then you went down on the RSI. Meanwhile, you made another pump up to 75 cents. It is pretty consistent on the daily RSI indicator. So I'm giving you guys that one to put in your pocket, use whenever you want. That is a very, very valuable piece of knowledge on this chart because Dogecoin has respected it so heavily every single run, guys. And now you can see on the RSI, you are starting to get a cross up here and a close green on Dogecoin. You, in fact, just crossed the RSI band, and you have been consolidating on this thing for quite some time. This is just immense buildup. And I would expect, that is just on the RSI. You can see it matches the chart pretty well as well. I would expect some kind of breakout here going into next week with so many things on the table. You have tariff news. You have what happened with the jobs numbers and the possible Fed rate cut on the 16th. You have a couple Bitcoin laws being looked over by the SEC. ETFs possibly coming through. You have a lot to where this little guy, this bull, could flip and go higher. I do think you're going to find some kind of decision next week because this thing is absolutely coiled to the max. I'd actually be curious to see where the Bollinger Bands are because this thing has just been so tight for so long. Bollinger Bands are tight. You're above the mid band going towards the top band. Not surprising. Not surprising. And you did get a very nice bounce off of this top side resistance. So I am in the belief that you've broken out here. Starting to get a cross up on the 4-hour MACD. That is a good sign for bulls to step back in and go on parade. And just like we said, guys, Bitcoin, I don't think Bitcoin's done yet. It's got one more fight left in it, I do believe. It's got one more rally. And whether that stops here and you make some kind of triple top until dumping, or you break this pattern and achieve the full profit target of $150,000, guys, that would be absolutely insane. And it doesn't have to stop there. It could peel back, test the top of this at 130 and then go again to 200. That is also possible, but we have to take those things day by day. When everyone asks me, what do you think the top of Bitcoin is going to be? What do you think the top of Dogecoin is going to be? There's ways that you could identify a possible top, but it is so much more inconsistent than just watching the chart and letting it paint the picture. Because so often you can see between the MACD, you can see between the RSI divergences. The volume ratio is what will tell you if it is the top or not. And if this thing is oversold, overbought. There's so many different ways to spot it. And I will be covering that on this chart. So if you guys found value, if you guys love this video, if you guys love me, please slap the subscribe button. This was my Saturday crypto update for you guys. I would expect something along the lines of this. That is what I expect on Bitcoin. Unless you wanted to test that 200 down at 104 before making the leg higher. I think that this is, it's about to cook people, shorts particularly. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a blast. I'll make one more video going over stocks that I like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love, God bless, and peace.